Let's move on to the fifth and final main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today gets sent in to us from one of our Patreon supporters, Steven Rosa. And by the way, that reminds me, guys, for those of you who are Patreon supporters and you use our Discord server, just so you know, there is something came up for me. We are not going to have a post-show chat today. Because, this week we've been doing post-show, like after the show's been done, we've been doing post-show live chats over on the Discord server. Not just to give you guys a heads up, that's not going to be happening today, but it will return on Monday. So don't worry about it. It will be back then. Anyway, with that down, let's get back to the question. Patreon supporter Steven Rosa, and thank you for being a Patreon supporter, Steven. You probably meant been. It's been confirmed that Tom Welling will be on Crisis on Infinite Earths, returning in the role as Superman from the Smallville series. How excited are you? I'm a true Smallville fan and own all the seasons. It got me through 4 tours of duty in Afghanistan and Iraq, so naturally, this is a fan dream come true for me. And yeah, this is actually news that broke right near the end of the John Campea Show yesterday. That Tom Welling from Smallville is indeed coming back to reprise the role of Clark Kent in the upcoming CW crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is what we've got from Deadline. And then there were 3. Tom Welling is set to reprise his Smallville role as Clark Kent in the CW's upcoming DC Arrowverse crossover, joining 2 other actors who have played the Man of Steel. Tyler Hoechlin, who I've never know if I'm saying his name correctly, and Brandon Routh are already set to portray the character in the crossover. All right, so I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't think this was going to happen. I really didn't. Now, we had heard that Tom Welling had already previously denied that he was going to be, coming back in the role for a CW thing. We'd heard that before. And to me, it seemed like, well, you already got 2 different Supermen in it. We got Brandon Routh. We got the guy who's currently playing Superman in Supergirl. So, yeah, it makes sense. He's not going to be there. And people would ask me and say, John, do you think maybe we're going to get Tom Welling back in the CW thing? And I would say, nah. He's got no interest to come back and play this before. He said that. Plus, they've already got 2 Supermen. Nah. Not going to see Tom Welling back. Then the news hits. He's coming back. Now, it should be noted, what was also written in that Deadline article is that they have not confirmed that he's going to don the Superman outfit. Right now, the terminology they're using is they're saying he's coming back as Clark Kent. They're not necessarily saying he's going to be Superman. And they're not necessarily saying we're going to see him in the Superman outfit. Maybe we will. It's not saying we won't. It just highlights in there that right now we don't know. All we know for sure is that he's coming back at least as Clark Kent. But at that point, whatever. Now we got 3 different Supermen that are going to be in the CW crossover. Am I excited about this? You know what? No. I'm not excited. But am I against it? Nope. Am I intrigued? I got to admit I'm at least a little bit intrigued. Because I'll tell you what, Tom Welling recently popped back up on our television screens in not this last season of Lucifer, but the season before that. He was in the full season of Lucifer playing Cain of the Cain and Abel brothers. He was Cain, the world's longest living mortal. He played in that, and he was great in it. And it was really nice to see Tom Welling back on screen in a regular role, and I thought he was great in Lucifer. I really did. I thought he was terrific in it. So coming off the heels of that, it is kind of nice to see he's coming back to... Look, even though I got to say myself, I'm not overly super excited about it because I think you've already got 2 Supermen in there. This just feels like they're sacrificing story just to throw in as much stuff as they possibly can and put in as much fan service as they can, which God bless you if that's what you're doing. But listen, I like Smallville like everybody else. I like Smallville. And after seeing him on Lucifer, I got to admit, I'm at least intrigued to see him come back and play this and to see what they've got in mind for this whole thing. I will say this, though. I am getting concerned about this series because, again, to me, it doesn't seem like they're building this crossover event on story. They're building it on throwing everything in the kitchen sink into it as possible. Put as much fan service into it as possible. Who cares what it does to story? Like we got Kevin Conroy coming in as Bruce Wayne. We got 3 different Supermen. They just throwing all this fan service stuff in there. And a lot of times that comes at the cost of good story. So who knows? We'll have to see. But I know a lot of people, considering the popularity of Smallville, I know a lot of people are going to be pretty damn excited about Tom Welling coming back to play it. And even I've got to say, I'm at least a little bit intrigued by it. So question is, guys, what do you think about the news of Tom Welling coming back to reprise the role of Clark Kent? Are you excited about it? Do you not care? Did you never watch Smallville? Is this the greatest news in the world to you? What do you think? Jump down to the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. All right, guys.